Hello and welcome to another allotment diary. Unfortunately, for the next few months these are going to get a bit fewer and far between as the weather turns in, and due to personal circumstances and the fact we're going to be moving house very soon, I'm likely to be giving up this allotment and taking on a newer one wherever we're moving to. So I'm going to have some really exciting things to share with you as I take on the new allotment and basically repeat a lot what I've done here and more. And next year I really want to get into vertical gardening and showing you how you can really squeeze the maximum amount of productivity out of a small area, which is entirely possible. You'll be surprised how much you can do, but more of that's going to be coming next season. Now, I wanted to show you, as a lot of you are going to be composting, I wanted to show you some finished compost. Now, this compost has been in this bag for probably a year. It's not been a hot compost pile, it's been just a plain old cold compost pile. It's been thrown in, covered over and forgotten about. I've just recovered it, dug it out, and this is the compost stain. Look at that. Look at that, fantastic. It's got a nice dark loamy feel and it's crumbly. That's how you know your compost is ready. That's what we're aiming for. Now, winter time is basically when you let your composting go. And you can see I've got my compost pile here. Needs a good turn, to be honest. I can start to smell it a little, and that usually means that the bacteria isn't doing its job. There's not enough oxygen. Now, if there isn't enough oxygen in one of these things, then the process of breaking down the material is going to stop and you won't get your compost, or it will take a lot longer. Build your compost heap right, in about sort of 2 months you'll have good quality compost. So this needs good turning, and then covering with old carpet or cardboard or something similar, just to keep the warmth in over winter, and that'll help speed up the reaction so that come spring this will be all broken down and it'll be ideal for use on my allotment. Now, I have just finished a book on composting. It's going to be on Amazon, so if you search for Jason John's Composting, the book will come up on Amazon. It's on Kindle, it's dead cheap, so you can download it and have a read, and I'll go through everything you need to know about composting and more. Basically, you'll be a composting expert at the end of it. Now, quick run around the plot, because I don't know if you can see the clouds there. They're threatening rain. It rained last night. There's still a threat of rain here, and the wind's picking up. Now, that's a mole hole. The mole's still here. I imagine it's coming in from the grass just behind me. It's not a huge problem, like I said. I'm likely to be giving this up, but if I was keeping the plot, I may well want to be putting down some traps, catch them and go and release them somewhere far away, just so that they don't damage the roots. Because unfortunately, because moles dig around underground, they're good for aerating the soil, but the downside is they damage the roots of your plants. Now, these are my winter brassicas. There's broccoli, purple sprouting broccoli and cauliflower here. Some of these will be ready before I leave the allotments, others won't, so the next person is going to get a bit of a bonus. But they're doing really well. You can see I've probably planted them a bit too close together, unfortunately. Yet again, forgetting how much they grow, but they're starting to form some heads in there, so that's really exciting. This is something called Good King Henry. It's given to me by a fellow plot holder. It's another interesting plant. You just use a green over winter. It's a simple green winter plant, so absolutely lovely. The weeds are starting to die back slightly, so it would be nice. There's some nasturtiums there. You can eat the leaves, the flowers, the seeds are capers, absolutely delicious. The corn, that's starting to be ready. Basically what you do, look for these tassels. They'll go brown like that when they're ready. Now, unfortunately, I planted these way too late, so they aren't doing very well. So let's just have a look inside this one. And there you are, look. You can see the corn. It's not quite ready. It more or less is. It's probably edible, to be honest. It's normally a slightly deeper yellow than that. I'll leave it on there for now. There's a few more on there. Some of them are going to be ready. Most of them are going to miss the season, to be honest. I run the beans. Blooming heck, these things produce a lot of beans. I've got more than I know what to do with. I've given them to everyone I know, and I've still got more. Driving me absolutely mad. So a lot of these I can turn into chutney. That one looks like it's gone a bit funny. So that one. So a lot of these I can turn into chutney or freeze for use over winter. So these will all be coming off over the weekend and being frozen. You can just see, just in there, there's my cucumbers. Not much going on those now. It's been surprisingly mild this September, so they're actually doing okay. But those will be coming off and being used in the next week as well, because the temperatures are getting decidedly cold, and unfortunately they're not enjoying it. So that's going to come up. There is some new growth on the end there, which is quite interesting. The courgettes are still doing really well. There's one hiding in there. There's loads of them. They're blooming everywhere. So busy using those. Calabrese, that's actually turned out very, very nice. I'm surprised. I thought it was broccoli, and turns out it wasn't. And it turns out I quite like Calabrese, so that's very nice. I highly recommend it. It's got a stronger taste than broccoli. Than cauliflower. It's much more cauliflowery, if that's even a word. But it's well worth a try. It really is. What I did with mine is I made it into cauliflower cheese, because of course it looks different to cauliflower. I presented it to the children as is, and they went, "Ugh, not eating that, it looks funny." So hide it in cauliflower cheese, they'll never know. Now hiding under here, there's another marrow. In fact there's two. You can see there's two growing up there. So I'm quite pleased with those. Again, they're very late in the season for what they are, but it has been unseasonably warm. So these are I'm going to leave these to grow and then give them another 2-3 weeks, and they should be ready to harvest and use. Now what I will do is, when I do move the plot, a lot of these plants, the rhubarbs, are going to be coming with me. So what I want to do, same with a lot of the fruit berries over there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to record a couple of videos and basically go through the process of moving plants, because, you know, let's face it, we plant things in the wrong place. Sometimes we want to transport them, so there's lots of reasons why you'd want to move, and I just want to go through it with you and help you understand some of the options available to you. Now over here are my leeks, which are doing quite well. However, let me just there, look, I don't know whether you can see that on here, but on this leaf here, see the red bits, there is a touch of rust. I know it's let's just wiggle the plant around a bit. I know it's actually quite hard to see it, particularly there. You can see the red. Unfortunately, rust appears to have attacked these. Now, it took out a load of broad beans on the plot next to mine, and it looks like it's moved on to the onions. Unfortunately, the leeks there. Unfortunately, I was going to overwinter those, but I don't think I am now. I think they're going to have to come up and be frozen. So, oh well, that's the way it goes. Over here, the rocket's gone to seed. No, it doesn't matter. Same with those, they'll come up. The beetroot has done surprisingly well. I'm going to do a video just about the beetroot, because I know people have been very curious about it. There's a lot of people who haven't heard of golden beetroot, and I just want to show you some more information about it and help you understand it. Now the raspberries, I've already filled a bowl of these. Had some gorgeous raspberries at the weekend, and there's even more ready. So I do think it's worth having both the autumn variety like this and the summer variety. You get a good crop of raspberries throughout the winter, and these are very well received come September time. I mean, they're a brilliant sweet treat from your allotment at a time when you're basically harvesting vegetables and not a lot of fruit. Well worth having some, though I would recommend they grow in pots. You can see there, they're outside the raised beds. Basically they grow by runners. I think these have actually come from my neighbour's plot, but I'm not complaining. I'm not going to sit here and spend the rest of the video eating these, by the way, so don't worry there. The fig tree is doing nicely. come up well. Probably needs a bit of a feed and a bigger pot, but as it's being moved soon, I will do that then. I'm really sorry, I am going to have to eat some more of these raspberries because they are way too tasty. Right, let's leave that plot and walk over to the next one, because oh, these are to die for. They are so sweet. The weather this year has just been perfect for these things. Absolutely brilliant. Now, quick trip down here. Oh God, I'm not going to show you those just yet. I'm going to give you some suspense. We'll come back to them in a minute. Over here, we've got sheep next door now. See on the end there? That's a golden raspberry. It's just flapping in the wind there. That's a golden raspberry, again, autumn variety. I've only got the one cane, the rest didn't survive. So they're, again, very sweet, very nice. I recommend those. A slightly different style of raspberry. Again, these will all be coming with me. And you can see there, it's a bit of a longer shape than the other one, which was rounder. There's some nice ones there. Yeah, you could just have a whole video of me eating these, and they are so nice. Now, it's a baby pumpkin, very baby. Slightly bigger pumpkin. You can call that a teenage one if you'd like. And then, hiding in the undergrowth here, Godzilla. There's one there, that's a decent size. There's another one hiding there. And there's two more hiding over here. This one actually looks like it's ready. So I might come and chop this in a minute and bring it home and store it, because it does look like it's absolutely ready. That one over there is very close to being ready, and you can see the plants themselves are starting to die off. This does happen, they do naturally die off, and basically I'm going to leave the smaller pumpkins like this one attached until they die off, and then bring them home and ripen them up. But these look fantastic. I will admit I was very late planting these, which is why they're so small. Now you may be thinking, hang on, they're quite big. Maybe they are, but they are quite small. These are Atlantic Giant is the variety, and they can grow big. Last year I completely neglected mine, and I had one that I think was 118 pounds and the other was 82, and I have about half a dozen more. If I was really going for it, there's a lot I can do, which I'll talk about in another video. I'm sure I've gone on about it before, where I can really grow some big pumpkins. So next year when I get a new plot, wherever it might be, I'm going to go and try and beat my 118 pound record. So I'm really going to go for it next year. I've got all the tactics, I know what I'm doing, so next year it's going to be massive. So that's it. Jobs you need to be getting on with is obviously tidying up, putting your allotment to bed for the winter. Your strawberry plants, they'll be sending off runners. Cut the runners off if you don't want them to, or root them and then replant them elsewhere. Remove any yellowing or red leaves that are dying off, and just sort of prune them, make them look okay. Tidy back everything that needs tidying, and cover your allotment. Any parts that you're not using, cover with some tarpaulin. They're dead cheap from the shops. Just buy some cheap tarpaulin, pull it down, weigh it down, and then it'll be a lot easier for you next year. I'd advise digging it first, get rid of all the stones and weeds before you cover it. Get it covered, and then come the spring you're not facing a carpet of weeds, and life's just going to be a lot easier for you. So it's all looking good down here. I'll keep you updated, and I'll give you some more videos very soon. I've had quite a few people ask me about these golden beetroots. Quite a few of you haven't heard about them, and what I wanted to do was just do a special video really about them, because I think they're fantastic vegetables, a great alternative to normal beetroot. Now, normal beetroot is fantastic, but the problem is you use it in your kitchen ends up looking like some sort of crime scene. and everything is stained with beetroot, and it drives me batty. I'm a big fan of beetroot, but I hate the mess it makes, so I don't eat it very often. The advantage of golden beetroot is it doesn't have that crime scene effect. You can see there, it's a reddy yellow colour. It is literally a golden colour, and you know, you can see that's a reasonable size. It's ready for use. And when you cut it, it doesn't stain red. Now, it still turns water red when you boil it, but it doesn't actually go red itself. Now, there's another one there. Let's get that one out. Oh, don't want any visitors. There's another one. Let's get that grass out. I can go over there. There's another little one there. And that'll do, I think, for today. I don't like picking too many. I tend to pick what I need, and that way it doesn't go to waste. Now, when you pick these, what I recommend is just cut the leaves off about an inch. Oh, sorry, it's a bit hard to do one-handed. There it goes. About an inch from the top. The reason being, if you leave the leaves attached, what I found is the moisture from the root, from the actual bulb, is drawn up into the leaves as they wilt, and you end up, frankly, with limp beetroot. Cut the leaves off about an inch away from the bulb, like that, and it will store for a good few days, and it will be, it just needs scrubbing and popping into a pot. It's really, really easy now. Again, same with this one, about an inch. Oh, there it goes. There you go, give it a quick shake, get there. There's another one. And then there's the final one there. And give it another good cut. Off it goes. So the leaves can go over there. And there we have them. So that's 3 golden beetroot. I'm now going to take these home, and what I'm going to do when I get them home is I want to show you a little bit about preparing them and cooking them. So I'm going to head off. I don't think it's going to rain just yet, but it's lunchtime, I'm hungry, and these beetroot are just screaming out to be eaten.